And we're live. Howdy, howdy, how? How is everyone?
Hey, man.
What up? How are you guys?
Great, man. So, I'm Rod. We got John, and we've got a very, very special guest. Do you want to do a little...
Mackay from The First. And it's great to be here, guys. Thank you so much.
Sweet, man. Thanks for joining us. Replacing Drew and Alex today, so...
Get out of here, guys. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. Alex is playing cricket.
Good guys.
And Drew, it's actually his wedding anniversary, so he got the night off.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Fair enough.
How's your week been, John?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been really good. Our whole at work, our whole network went down for the whole day, and just running around like a bunch of headless chickens.
Oh, that's good.
What happened?
Oh, they did an update on the network.
Got it.
And all our parks feed for it, so everything went down. Not very exciting news, but it was probably the biggest thing happened this week.
Lovely. Well, that's when you rock and roll like we do.
Yeah.
All the bits in between, they seem dull anyway in comparison, and sometimes you actually, when you're in rock and roll, you need to do something really, really dull outside of it to make the rock and roll even better. Isn't that right, John?
Yeah. It's like wearing a jacket when it's on the inside. You don't feel the benefit when you go outside.
Rod, are you wearing a jacket over there?
Are
you wearing a jacket?
How hot is it over in is it Tennessee?
Yeah, over here in Nashville. It's you know what? It's starting to cool down already. It was a hot summer. I was telling Rod earlier, our AC broke 4 or 5 times this year, and it was almost 90 degrees inside the house.
Whew. Toasty, that is.
We live, but now when it's like 73 degrees, we're like freezing. I'm not kidding. I have like a sweater and pants on, and it's like freezing at 70 some odd degrees. So we get about a foot of snow here every year.
Wow.
So it's gonna be a miserable winter for us.
Well, this is a first for See You Next Tuesday. I'm hoping to get a sponsorship from Birra Moretti. So, what are you drinking, Mackay?
I'm drinking Truly over here. Not a typical drink of choice, hard seltzer, and also it's 2 p.m. here in Nashville, but when on English time, right?
Yes, when on English time, drink like the English. So we've got a bit of a packed show. Obviously, we've got a special guest, and we will be playing a tune that got put out probably a couple of months ago that you might recognise some of the BVs. We are going to air an interview with our track of the week originators, Pushing Veronica. So that's going to be at the end of the episode, and we're going to play some Just a Ride tunes as well. But before we do any of that, it's a very special day today, isn't it, John?
It is. For which reason? I'm 50.
I'm wondering this also.
I'm wondering. So yeah, we were going to talk about ongoing events in the world today, which we will do because we always like to share our very well informed opinion on these things. But we wondered what was special about the 23rd of August, and John has found. Let's start with a musical one. Because I think if we go to left field straight away, people will forget that this is a musical thing, isn't it? It's a musical endeavour. We're all artists here. So on this day, what happened, John?
Okay, the Beatles released "She Loves You."
She Loves You. What a tune! What an amazing tune!
Yeah, great one, classic.
I'll tell you what's crazy though. Actually, it feels like the industry's gone full circle. Because, when we were growing up, you'd get bands who they'd maybe record an album and it might take a year, it might take 18 months to get out. But it's a crazy thing. People probably can't see because it'd be really small. But they recorded She Loves You on the 1st of July, 1963, and they had it out on the 23rd of August.
Wow.
Now, the
That's
thing is,
fast turnaround time.
Absolutely. It's nuts. And it's more like today than ever before. Do you know? But when you think about, they had to record it on tape. They then needed to, press vinyl and physically get it out.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. And it's a singles market again, kind of like it was back then, I think, as well.
Yeah, very true.
For sure. And it kind of goes back to something we were talking about, I think, on the last episode, where, albums feel now like in those days, they were a compilation of singles.
That's exactly it.
That's
exactly it.
And maybe in 10 years, it's going to go back to the album.
That's what I think. I think everything in music is cyclical, and I think somebody, I don't know, Drake or someone will do it, and it'll become cool again to have concept album or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give him too many props because he's not the most popular guy in the world at the moment. But I wonder, was R. Kelly really ahead of his time with his hip hopera? Because I kind of feel like that's how you could. That's how in our age now you could maybe push towards an album where the visual and the music is all one thing together. And
was that the case with that record? Was that record hip opera?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
okay.
It was all done on. It was all done on video, and I think.
Okay. Yeah,
I think
that's
it was,
right.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the story of there's all sorts of things going on. But the one thing I remember,
I've seen clips of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a man and he thinks his wife is having an affair, and it turns out it's with a midget, and it's mad. It's absolutely bonkers. It's just a shame, it's done by R. Kelly. But regardless of what you think about the man, I mean, he wrote some great songs.
I would have loved to see the pitch, the initial pitch.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to do any pitches. I think he just walked into lots of things and just went, "I wrote You Are Not Alone for Michael Jackson, so I'll do what I want, thanks." I think that's what his approach was to women as well, and it's probably what got him in all the trouble.
The age as well. I think he had an affinity for the young ladies, I think, from what I understand.
Very, very odd. Anyway, let's move away from R. Kelly. Let's not taint the celebration of
That's
the
just the
Beatles.
clickbait for this conversation.
These are where we're going to get the clips. Me kind of saying, Do you know, just one thing that I thought was really funny, in his, I don't want to say really funny, but in his trial, his defense came down to, Stevie Ray Vaughan. He married his cousin when she was 13.
Really?
But he's a genius, and I'm a genius.
Wow.
So his defense boiled down to, I'm a genius, so I should do what I want, which doesn't really work in my book.
No, it doesn't. And I'm kind of embarrassed. I knew he played 13s on his fretboard, but I didn't know he married his cousin. I just want to say, of my musicology.
I just want to say, it might not have been Stevie Ray Vaughan. I might have said the wrong person. So I don't want to have slandered anyone. I don't know if anyone in the chat, wants to fact check us on that. So I can make
up in all of the internet.
So I can make a frank apology if needed, or if not, I can call him a nonce.
Maybe it was Jimmy Vaughn, his brother.
Could have been.
I don't know. This is all speculatory.
It is
I think
indeed.
Elvis is another one I could potentially slander.
Should we maybe just move away from slandering people?
Yeah. That's probably good.
I think maybe that's. I know I brought this on us, but I think that would be a good step in the right direction. So, John, favorite Beatles song? Is it "She Loves You"?
No, I think something probably.
Can I choose the entire medley from Abbey Road? Because it's kind of one song, the medley at the end. Does that count?
I think so. I mean, you are kind of choosing Best of the Beatles, aren't you? A little bit,
Just the medley.
That's
Golden Slumbers and Carry the Way. And all that.
You probably haven't heard of this. This TV show we have in the UK called I'm Alan Partridge. It's about a character called Alan Partridge. And
my God.
He says he's a really big Beatles fan, and the guy goes, "Oh, so what's your favourite album?" And he goes, "Probably Best of the Beatles."
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a harsh one.
Yeah, but anyway.
That's... yeah. What can we say? Let's just set the record straight. What are we allowed to say on this live stream? I think everybody wants to know.
What can we say?
Or what can we not say?
I mean, we can pretty much say anything. I don't want to. Things I want to stay away from are you know, essentially anything that will get us banned from YouTube or Facebook. Those would probably be pretty good things to stay away from.
They're a lot more lenient than TikTok, I have to say. TikTok is really like harsh.
Have you been banned from it? Have you had any suspensions or bans? Not yet.
No. I had one video taken down immediately, and I think it was they maybe thought it was a shaming video or something, but it was the title was "Does MGK look like Ellen DeGeneres?"
Which he does.
Hey, you know what? It was a clip of he himself saying that. So I thought it was okay, you know, but just so everybody is clear on that.
Well, you know, I mean, just because someone looks like somebody, I mean, it's not. I mean, it depends who that person is, you know.
It's true.
Like,
it was the bangs, you know. They kind of had the bangs, you know.
The question is like, is that offensive because he looks like her or because she looks like him? I don't know. I mean, it could be either way depending on which way you look at it.
Well, I think it's a compliment to her and kind of a slight to him, right?
True. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, if she looks 20, 30 years younger, I think that's great.
Yeah. You know.
You know? And she's married, isn't she married to the lady from Arrested Development? I think, you know, the one that plays Lindsay Blonde.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She did good. She did good for her age.
Everyone kind of turned on Ellen a few years ago, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Why? Why was that?
Apparently, the her talk show to work on, it was like a really toxic environment. I don't know.
Oh, that's too bad.
She always came across really nicely. Like, you always thought, like, hey, you know, you could go for a drink with Ellen. She'd have a laugh.
You never know these people, right? You just don't know, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, guys, shall we just have a brief musical interlude? I think we can.
Jump in.
Why don't we play one of our tracks from Just Push Play, which we haven't played yet. So this is Time Is Running Out, live at Just Push Play. Oh, and we're back.
Hey!
So that was Time Is Running Out. I just pushed play. Just think, John, it was almost a month ago. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Time flies.
It seems like a week ago. Nice.
Yeah, I know.
Great jam. Love that one.
Oh, cheers, man.
Thanks, man.
So we've got some live dates coming up. We've got some people haven't noticed. We announced our tour of Poland. I think the first date has gone up, which was Warsaw on the 25th of September. Ticket links are going to be coming up soon, so if anyone's in Poland or they know anyone that's in Poland, just give them a shout. Tell them that grunge is alive and it is coming to Warsaw. It's also coming to Krakow and also coming to Wrocław, but we'll give you guys more details of those shows when they get announced later this week. Sorry, I'm trying really, really hard to burp underneath my breath.
Oh, you gotta just let it out, dude. Just let it out.
I was mid-sentence. You know, I'll let it out later. Maybe like one of you guys is talking. So listen, like let's talk the first. Is it pronounced the first just without?
It is the first, yeah.
The first.
No
okay,
I,
cool.
no I in first. Trying to keep us humble.
It could be the frost.
It could be. It could be. You know, I took it to a couple of English teachers. Of course, you know, we're not in England over here, but you know, and I tested it on them, you know, but and it passed the test many years ago. But actually, the story was I dreamt the band name. I had a dream one night, and I woke up, and I'm like, was that a band or what? What is the deal with that? And it wasn't. The rest is history.
Oh.
It's like
so, you know,
it's like if you go back in the day and you get like the and the band, you know. And
we got those original handles on Instagram and YouTube. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe the first.com was open. I couldn't believe all of it. And I was talking about this last night to our bass player. I said it was a bold move to get the logo tattooed before we owned the trademark.
Yeah,
it was like, what's going to happen, you know, if we're denied our own trademark? But luckily we got it just, was it a couple months ago finally, so.
I can imagine
Yeah.
DJ Khaled, like literally 10 minutes after, went to go look for it. He went, damn, someone's taken it.
So it's got to be like DJ Khaled Incorporated LLC Infinity. But he's got to shorten it, you know, for liability reasons.
Oh, man. So, yeah, do you want to just give the hordes of people in the live chat who are all repping tonight just a little bit of a history of the first and kind of what you've been doing and what you're up to now?
Well, thank you. First of all, thanks for having me on. You guys are too kind. Thank you for jumping on Geronimo. That was an honor. Wanted to work with you guys for a long time. Yeah, the background was, you know, we were all hired guns in Nashville. You already know I woke up with the name in my head one day. We were all hired guns. You know, Jeff played for Insane Clown Posse, and Nathan played keys for Taking Back Sunday, and everybody had these gigs. And I was still a hired gun. And I'm like, let's start a rock band on the side, and that's kind of what we did. And I just kind of jumped in full cannonball or whatever you want to call it, because it took off a little bit faster than I thought. And the other guys, you know, they play with us when they can. They obviously have awesome gigs. So they keep doing that. And since then, we've kind of reformed as we're going to take a 3-piece out on the road this coming fall. I think the rest is history, man. We toured for a couple years before releasing singles. I wanted to see what would stick. And everybody said that was like career suicide. You know, you got to have a single out before you go on the road. But we did it. We saw what worked. And, you know, yeah, I think that's... Yeah.
Cool. So we'll obviously, because I've got a huge ego, the track we're going to play is Geronimo.
Yes.
How did that kind of tune come about? I mean, I really should know this, obviously, because you know I sang on the track, but you know you very much just like got in contact and like, hey, yeah, you want to do some vocals? I was like, yeah, man, for sure. So give us some background on the track and the song.
Well, I was a huge fan, I mean, of your guys' music, and I wanted something that we could collaborate on. And the timing was a bit uncertain. One of our roadies, a friend of mine for 15 years, actually the first guy in our camp to move to Nashville, he died. Oh. And I felt like I had to do something, you know, and we found out it was a suicide. And it didn't match the profile, you know, because Josh he was always the funniest guy. He, you know, had all the jokes. He knew all the movie lines. And so I knew I had to do something, but it's like, what can you do as a musician other than make music? So, I wanted to reach across the pond, and, you guys had talked about mental health and weren't afraid to kind of bash it all out. And the same with Salkura. And funny enough that you guys played together.
Yeah, so one of the things that we were trying to sort out, but it just became too much to do, was we were talking about the concept of both bands kind of learning the song, playing it, but then having your performance on like a TV screen that would be on the stage. And it's one of these, like, especially...
Cool, we'll pull it off one day.
One day, exactly. It's
here's
this is gonna be a great idea. Yeah.
Simpler concept. You guys come to America, we'll do a bunch of dates. We'll come over to the UK, we'll do a couple dates. And then we don't have to worry about how we're going to stream it, simulcast extraterrestrially and shit.
Okay, that's a deal. We'll sort this one. We'll definitely sort this one. Yeah, man,
Love it.
John, would you like to go to the States?
I'd love to go to the States. I've never been.
You've never been?
We'd love to have you.
Where is the number one place in America you'd like to go, John?
Probably Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one. Why's that?
Please tell me.
A specific place, actually, and Roger will know this. I'd like to go to Bisbee, Arizona.
Oh, where Doug Stanhope lives?
Yes.
Just because Doug Stanhope lives there? Or...
Yeah, just Doug Stanhope's there. Just purely as a kind of, yeah, I mean, you've listened to his podcast, haven't you?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it's actually quite, just because it always just talks about the boring things that happen in Bisbee. So it just seems like
it's a beautiful
place.
state. Arizona's gorgeous.
Yeah,
my jaw just about dropped when you said that today, because we got a letter from the police department from Arizona today, and I'm going, we haven't been to Arizona in 2 years. What the hell's going on over in that state? So when you said that, I'm going, okay, what is this, a setup or something?
Nice. Well, okay,
everything was fine, by the way.
Without further ado, let's whack the track on, and then I can ask you about the rather interesting video.
Yes.
So let's do this. What have I done here? Hang on. It's a good job. There we go. Oh, it's a good job I get a preview of this, because I nearly made a huge error. But this is Geronimo by The First. Great tune, great tune.
Ah, that's because this guy's on it. These guys.
You know. No, man, it's fucking awesome. Like, I remember I really got into it as well. You know, you're like,
man,
can you record a couple of bits? I was like, I just got bored. I recorded everything.
Oh my god, you sent me so many. There was at least 12 or 15 tracks, and it was so much fun to play with them and move on. As you probably heard, I flew them all around the song. And,
yeah.
For some reason, the outro ended up becoming like a big moment for you with the parts you recorded for like the pre-chorus.
yeah. I thought that was cool. The thing is, it's like when you do stuff like that, you know, the more tracks that you have, the more you can kind of play around with it in the mix, or if it gets remixed or whatever. Like you can sometimes use that kind of like B-roll to do.
It's so much fun. So much, and it was so much fun to sing with you and Harry, and we had a guy here from Nashville, Andrew Leahy. He was on it too. It was just so much fun.
Cool, man. So how did the video happen?
Oh wow, yeah, the video. Wow. So I had written up a couple different serious treatments for the video idea, and presented them to the team. And at the very end, there was like you know, kind of the out of, well, we could always do, you know, the stupid, you know, thing. Because if you look at our history of videos, almost all of them are pretty dumb. And they're like, yeah, do that. Even though you don't have an idea, do that, you know. And so I was thrown into playing majority of the characters, which I was not incredibly comfortable with. And on set they go, yeah, tell her to go over there so she can do the thing. I'm like, stop calling me her and she, okay? They're like, like, no, I just mean that character. I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm not comfortable with that pronoun.
Going the other way.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, like, you know, it was great to kind of connect because, you know, I've really enjoyed your music in the chat.
Dude, and likewise with you guys.
Dude, in the chat, got a big fan of Tarantino. Already repped you with that one. That's one of my faves.
Likewise, you know what? I holds a very special place in my heart. I recorded it all by myself in my apartment, and I had no clue it would become #1 on FM radio over here. That's still mind-blowing. And you know, it wasn't the best drum room or anything, you know, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
No, man, it's great. Like, and what I love about your sound especially is, you know, it's one of those weird things. It's like, I don't think you sound like this band, but you really remind me in some ways because it's very eclectic and you have all sorts of different inspirations and you move in different genres, yet it all still sounds like you. And it really reminds me about Fountains of Wayne, who I think were really great at doing that, you know? Yeah,
and you know what's funny? If I'm not mistaken, I think their rhythm guitar, the guitar player, not the singer, was from my hometown.
Oh, no
Florida.
way.
I believe it might have been a bass player, but I think it was a guitar player. Someone from that band was from Gainesville, Florida. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Gainesville, Rock City.
Yeah, you know that, man. You familiar with Less Than Jake and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Less Than Jake
That's
awesome. Were massive.
Really?
Like, when we were growing up. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Weird, isn't
awesome.
it? You know.
It is. The punks, you know, growing up there, I just took it for granted. And once I left, I went, wow, there was for a small college town in the middle of nowhere, there was this crazy punk rock scene.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just one of those strange things. It's like in the UK, I guess it's kind of like there are just certain parts of Wales that just kick out like great metal bands. You know, like...
Well, keep in mind, most of my favorite artists are from the UK. I mean, you're talking Radiohead, Bowie, Massive Attack. You know, obviously going back to the Beatles. You know, I'm trying to think of just off the top of my head. Pink Floyd.
Yeah, we have a huge amount of influence. Tiny little island.
Zeppelin. I mean, come on.
Sabbath. You know.
Sabbath. Thank you. Did you guys watch the Sex Pistols documentary?
I haven't. Yeah.
Not yet. Was there a doc? Because I know I watched the series.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said documentary. The series, that's what I should have said.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was crazy. Like, back in the day in my old band, I actually I did a record with Steve Jones.
No
way. He produced it. So really? It was funny talking to him because I'd ask him stories about the Sex Pistols. Yeah. And he was like, oh, man, don't really remember that much. I was so fucked all the time. Which, when I saw the series, I was like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I believe it now. Yeah. And how crazy, man. He was so close to getting thrown in the slammer for a long time.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
It's
nuts. I mean, he did a little bit of time before the ban.
Did he? Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think for like stealing cars. I think that's why he was facing such a big stint if he had got fucked.
Okay. So how was the experience recording with him?
It was great. It was really weird because I was only about 16, and he was awesome. He one of the things that he kind of taught me was when you're fried, and you're better off just stopping, chilling out, and then coming back.
Not staying up on Black Beauties for 6 or 7 days, right?
Yeah, exactly. Learning from his mistakes, passing on that wisdom that he learned the hard way to a new generation. But man, he was a really, really good laugh. He was a great producer as well. Like, I know he produced Buckcherry as well, who are completely different.
Did he really?
Completely different style of band, much closer to kind of like what Just a Ride do. I mean, my old band was very much like pop punk, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was a great experience, which I probably didn't appreciate that much at the time. I was wondering,
how can you?
Yeah, exactly. You're a kid. But
I was just having a conversation with our drummer because he's on the Avril Lavigne tour right now, and she just did that single with Machine Gun Kelly and all that. And my first producer at 16 recorded all that stuff, and so it was one of those crazy small world moments. Yeah, Cameron Mizell, and it was the same thing as you. You just stumble into a studio. Hey, I need to record my band, and that's kind of who it becomes. It's such a crazy industry. It's such a small world, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You're always far closer to people, and even people that you hold up on a pedestal. You're much closer to them than you could ever imagine.
Oh my God! I think I told you about the time I ran into Dave Grohl and Butch Vig getting barbecue. Man, that was just insane.
Tell us.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. Well, there's this great place in town called Peg Leg Porkers. If you ever hear, or let me rephrase that. When you guys come to Nashville, we'll take you to Peg Legs, and they stole our old engineer Jordan Logue from Dark Horse. He was a great guy and worked for Nick Raskulenis and all that kind of stuff. And hey, going to be over at Peg Legs the day after Pilgrimage, a festival here, and they were mixing. Remember when they did those live? They all had like numbers. They were EP covers.
Yeah, I know that.
They were mixing that here in town with probably Butch and Nick, and so I went over, man. Bought him some beers and just got to hang out, and the coolest people. I mean, there's nothing like Dave Grohl being like, thank you for the beer, and you're just like shitting your pants, just like, thank you for everything, Dave. But let me tell you something. Butch Vig, very nice guy. He's got this thing where he can just look at you with his eyes, and he can just see right through you. He could see what you ate for lunch. He could see what you ate for dinner the last night. And I know like Cobain, a lot of those guys, they didn't want to double their vocals and shit like that. And I know Butch Vig got him to do it. And I can tell you, I see how he could do it. And they would do it, man.
Oh man,
they would do
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah, Butch Vig is so, I don't know. I mean, like, he's so kind of underrated. Nirvana,
I think
Pumpkins.
So. Exactly. I mean, he was in Garbage.
Yeah, again, I was going to mention that. What a great band too, Some absolutely massive songs.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of some of the other records he did that were just absolutely killer. I know you said Pumpkins. I know he was doing that, I think, before Nevermind.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Didn't he do? He did Gish, didn't he? Or am I misremembering that?
I think he did Gish. Yeah, he did Gish and Silence.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So it's just absolute home run.
Incredible stuff. I know. The use of chorus and phaser and stuff like that. It's just incredible.
Unreal. Well, listen, John, we had two big events that happened on the 23rd of August. Okay. And John is kind of hinting at that with his background. Has anybody clocked where the lightning is emanating from behind John? Can you reveal it, John?
I'll reveal. A little bit at a time, so
slowly.
It feels like there can be only one.
Almost like the first.
Och. believe that's O in Scottish. It's only the fucking Highlander.
Yes.
Do you find it strange that it hasn't?
Real life Highlander, I suppose.
Real life.
No, it's not a good comparison. Apart from he's Scottish.
Who is the real life Highlander? Who are you talking about?
Yeah, this is what I'm wondering.
No, I didn't really think it through, but it's William Wallace's death day, I suppose.
Yes, we're celebrating the day William Wallace, aka Braveheart, who was played perfectly by Mel Gibson, and
much better than I.
We're celebrating today as two Englishmen that he got his comeuppance.
Well, we could say we're commemorating as well. But,
I was just trying to be more provocative.
Okay.
Do you know?
Provocateur.
Absolutely. I always. Do you know what? I grew up thinking that was quite a good thing, but apparently, anytime someone does anything terrible, they get called a provocateur. So maybe it wasn't such a good thing.
I think people call it out, but doesn't society reward that? Don't you think?
I think so. They definitely get all the attention.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously we're talking, there's 2 out of 3 people on this live stream are frontmen, so, attention. What do you mean it's bad? It's like, it's the life force. It's what I want. It's what I live for.
Sometimes people in the comments, they get so upset about something, and I said on YouTube actually the other day, I go, hey man, we're not curing cancer here, This is a music video. This is a music video,
Absolutely.
What are you upset about? They were upset about the hashtag, by the way, for the record.
What was the hashtag?
I think there was a Lil Peep hashtag, or maybe a Nirvana hashtag, or something just to kind of pick up other depressed music fans like myself.
But this is it. I mean, this is how the industry works. Do you know? It's you attach those tags of music that relates to what you do, and you say, hey, do you know what? Maybe you'll
people
like
are
this.
always going to get upset about something. I quit caring a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. If you care what other people think, you will drive yourself crazy.
You really will.
Or crazier.
And you know what I learned, and I'm sure we want to move it along, but is most people are too caught up in their own insecurities to worry about your insecurities.
Oh yeah.
Pro tip.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, we're just in the. Actually, there's this awesome movie you should check out. It's a documentary by a really great director called Ondi Timoner. I don't know if you remember a film called Dig, which is a music documentary.
Do I remember Dig?
Absolutely. Greatest music documentary of them all, as far as I'm concerned.
I call it the Spinal Tap of the 90s, but I agree with your statement as well.
Yeah. So this was a film that she did after that, and it's called We Live in Public. It's all about the world's greatest internet pioneer that you don't know about. And it's this dude called Josh Harris. And it's almost like he can see into the future. So
I love it.
He was kind of a big kind of originator of chat rooms. Like he was kind of building. I think he was involved in like the tech that went around building that. But what he did was he realized what people would want to do on chat rooms, and that's like talk dirty to each other and interact in different ways and form different communities. And he started pushing that on his platform. And then the next thing he tried to do, which he kind of did in a way, was launch the world's first online TV station. And it's absolutely nuts. I think they did like a 60 Minutes on him, like in the late 90s. And he looks like he's coked off his face when he's talking to this reporter.
Wow,
But he's basically saying, and this is in the late 90s, he's saying like, my job is to put you guys out of business. The internet is how we are going to consume our media. We're better than you. We can get detailed stats on exactly like who's watching, what they turned off on, all these things. And I'm in a race to put you out of business. And this TV anchor is like, well, I don't know how many years in the future it will be before we can get comparable audio and visual on the internet.
And you're like,
it was way quicker. But as an observation that this guy Josh Harris made, and some of his predictions are fucking terrifying, fucking scary.
Well, yeah, go into. I'm very.
He basically said, Warhol said everybody's looking for their 15 minutes of fame, but the internet generation will be after their 15 minutes of fame every single day. And that's
100% accurate.
And I think he said this in like 2000 or 2001. So he is so
way
ahead of the curve.
ahead.
And then he also said that, you know, he has this other one where he says that, you know, back in the day, there was a point in time where the lion was the king of the jungle. But one day he woke up and he was in a zoo. And he said, that's what the internet is going to do to us. It's going to capture us.
You're familiar with the singularity?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, terrifying stuff. Oh, yeah. We have a whole... I guess it was 2 years ago now. We released a song called Simulation. We did it with the augmented reality app, just trying to raise awareness about, you know, we're already cyborgs with these phones in our hands, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you got to watch The Social Dilemma.
I've seen that. It's great.
Oh, man. The guy that invented the like button and the share button. Oh, my God. Crazy.
Yeah,
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy?
It's nuts. There was actually, I don't know if you know a podcast called Radio Lab, but years and years ago, probably 2013 or 2014, they did an episode called, I think it was called Trust Engineers, and it was all about Facebook kind of trying to manipulate their audience, and they're talking about it in such an innocent way because they don't know what is going to happen in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and they are really candid about what they're talking about how they could influence people just doing the strangest things. I'll send you a link, bro, because if you're into that sort of stuff, you'll love it. Please do. You'll love it.
Please do. The geo fencing and reverse warrants, and that's all becoming the big problem over here now.
Dude, it's Minority Report. It's going to happen.
You know, I said to somebody the other day, I'm like, we're already living in a simulation. It's just like, which one is it? It's like, we think of the simulation as the computer version, like this one. But we're like, honestly, maybe it's the outside one because the world's burning down and you can walk outside and be like, man, it's a nice day outside. So I'm like, maybe that is the simulation. I don't know.
What do you think it might? What do you think it might go towards? Idiocracy, in that sort of future prediction.
Oh, what? We just get dumber and dumber and dumber. Have you seen Idiocracy? Oh, dude, it's so the concept.
I gotta see that one too.
You have to see that film. It's by Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah, Mike Judge is a genius.
Oh man, and it's like so the concept is that smart people don't have as many children as people with lower IQs.
This is a huge issue right now.
And I mean, that's why Elon Musk has 9 children. He's trying single-handedly.
Right. The whole the population decline is a huge issue in the Western world.
Yeah. So it's about this idea. It's about this concept that this average Joe, he's literally the most average guy. I think he gets accidentally frozen and he gets thawed out like 1,000 years into the future, and he's the cleverest man who ever lived. And it's just...
Well, see, I believe it because, I mean, with all this information here, why do you need to know as much as you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything has changed. Like, now, it isn't about how much information that you can remember. It's about how well you can access information, Like, exactly. I feel like kids aren't taught what they need to know. Like, why do I need to remember any fact? What I need to do is I need to understand how I search for it. And it's interesting because because I'm pretty savvy at that sort of stuff, but I know people who are incredibly intelligent and they just haven't clocked that. Their brain works in a different way, and maybe they're more set up for, well, I've got to learn my field, and you ask them about what it is they're an expert in, and they'll blow your mind. I can't do that. But people who can, follow in. I mean, you can literally teach yourself anything with YouTube videos if
you
you're
really
that way inclined.
Right. So let me ask you, how long do you guys think before the implants start becoming in style or in trend?
Well, I know I think it's in Sweden they do
the parties, right? Implant parties.
In Sweden they've got those microchips that that'll be that's your ID, but they have them implanted into your skin. That's becoming a fairly common thing.
Is it?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the start of it. That's the baby steps. Start.
Right. Exactly. Just so you can access the door or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw an interview with Elon Musk, and they were talking about Neuralink, and the interview.
Oh, Neuralink scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, and it's really strange because I think when he was on Rogan, they never went into this, but somebody made the point. It's like, if everyone's on Neuralink, then are we going to have true equality? Because everybody will be the same. He was like,
right. His answer
was
difficult.
We're quite far away from that
for a while. Right.
You know, right. and he said that he didn't think it would happen quickly. Like it would...
Right. You know, the one funny thing that Musk also said, talking about him, was they said, "Oh, what won't be replaced by the singularity?" And interestingly enough, he said art and music. And the reason I say interesting is, I'm sure you saw that thing where Kurzweil had that whole piece of music that was, composed by the computer in 1970. Something. Did you guys, speaking of digress from it, did you hear that AI Nirvana song?
This is exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, I did. I was alright. I mean, like, it sounded like clips from other Nirvana songs. Yeah, but the thing is,
but how long?
How long will it be until
it's good?
Yeah, because I mean, technically speaking, if you're using amp simulators, right, that's all digital.
Right.
That's code.
Right.
Do why could you not generate that? I mean, it's like every so often, someone will put up these these kind of like deep fake voices, where you can just type whatever. I think they did one of Jordan Peterson, and you can get him to say whatever you want, which was quite funny because he's got a pretty hilarious voice. But how long will it be until the computer can just rearrange the guitars? You won't even need to record it. But then the next thing is, if you've got the Neuralink, you can just think it, and it will just turn. Like,
and see, that's what I keep saying is, which in some cases, like, that's one of my things. I feel like, I just hear music, and then it's like, okay, I got to get it out. So, like, in that sense, it'd be great not to have to get it out. But one, as you guys know, how much does it change in the process of getting it out? A lot. And number two, if you don't have to learn the skill, I mean, like you said, I think that'll be the old equivalent of, like, your grandma used to hum while she was doing the dishes or something. They'll just be, putting together a GarageBand track in their head,
Yeah. Man, could you imagine if it plays in real time? Dude, this is... I mean, think so. You would think we had been smoking rather than just drinking, Like, we're going that way. So I tell you what...
The thing is, it all exists now. It's all there now,
Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
It's just not affordable. Yeah, it's just not affordable yet.
Yeah. So, guys, let's have another musical interlude. Let's do another musical interlude. So I think, what do you reckon? Shall we? You can choose, dude, because you're our guest. I have two tracks lined up. We've got our track of the week, or we've got an old Just a Ride classic. I Want to Know. What do you fancy?
Let's go old Just a Ride classic. Come on, man.
I Want to Know, and it's quite apt, isn't it? Because we're talking about when we'll just be able to think about songs and we'll write. When will that be? I want to know. Don't you?
Drop it, Rod.
Boom, like it's hot.
Won't you tell me what you wanted to say? Won't you tell me?
So that was I Want to Know. That was our debut single that came out a long time ago. Can't remember
Not that
exactly
long
when.
ago.
Well, actually, we did release it. I think we released it in 2017 originally, and it did zilch. And then when sort of like COVID happened.
So you guys are as old as us, man. We're toddlers. We're toddlers at this point.
Yeah, dude. Like, it was a while ago because like it started off as a writing project almost between me and Drew, and also the first bass player Eddie. You know, John is John the third bass player of Just
John
Arrived.
the Third. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, we put that out, and it just did okay, but when
it was a different market back then. Rock
Absolutely.
wasn't back in 20. It wasn't cool again yet.
Absolutely, and just before COVID happened, like our PR guy John, he kind of got in touch, and he was because Drew used to be in this band called Inglorious, who were you know they were always busy, they were always doing stuff, great band.
He was in a few big bands, wasn't he, Drew?
Yeah. You know, I mean, as much as Drew has his, I don't know, has his differences with the singer Nathan, like you know, it was a great band to be in.
Absolutely.
You know, and yeah, he met John, and John kind of listened to I Want to Know. He's like, whoa, you got to get this out. And I think as well, like first few weeks of COVID, there was just a bit of like the industry sort of stopped, and
what are we gonna do?
We put the track out. It got really well received by Planet Rock, which is like the biggest radio
Planet
station.
Rock is huge.
Yeah, it's massive. Like, and yeah, they broadcast even in the States, don't they? You know, and they have great DJs. I think like Alice Cooper does a show, Joe Elliott does a show.
Yeah.
There's some great DJs on there. And
there is
Wyatt, who does the new rock show, he really liked the track, and then that's really when we're like, shit, you know, we could do something. So we smashed out an album in lockdown, and it was the thing that started it all off.
So you recorded that first record all kind of in one long session.
Almost, yeah. So everything apart from I Want to Know was that's like the original recording.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then in
That's
lockdown
awesome.
we recorded another 9 tracks. We
got
away together, recorded, and you know then we did some kind of like we did some extra recording at home as well because you know now
what else were you gonna do during that time period? Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and got it out. So it's all been cool, and you know like we were talking before we jumped on the stream. You know, just constantly recording and releasing stuff. That's the way to do it. We're having a little gap at the moment. Just we'll probably
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Oh man, it is difficult.
The business. Look, you know, we finish our job. Hear me out, guys, because I know you feel this. We'll finish our job, and it'll still take 4 months for it to come out, and the fans are going, "Where's the record?" And you're going, "I haven't even touched it in 4 months. It's been done."
Absolutely, you know. And that's the thing, you know, and this whole kind of like constant sustained promotion thing that's big and it's necessary and it's all of that. So yeah, you know, it is.
We're all adapting to the times, I think, right? Kind of adapting to like, okay, we're gonna just have to keep up this cycle forever.
Yeah, you know, until we need to do something else, and then we'll jump like little doggies.
But hear me out, though. Hear me out, because there's a lot of old timers that hate social media, and I'll be honest. I mean, as you guys know, I took like a 2-month-long social media break,
sabbatical.
But isn't it sometimes better? Like, I mean, you guys remember touring back in the day. I mean, how much time you'd spend in a van. And you'd had to go shake everybody's hand at the venue, and even then, how many of them of the hands you shook would actually follow your band?
Yeah,
And so now it's like, well, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks. You got to be on your phone all the time, but at least you're home.
But this is the thing. Like, at least you can connect with them. Just a shout out in the chat. We've got James Morgan. He's in to hear your views, like a sociology update. I don't know. I don't know if he's doing some sort of anthropological study on dudes in bands, but you're in the right place because we've talked about everything from music.
We've gone deep.
Yeah, we've gone deep. When the singularity will occur, the impact of social media, all of the key button issues.
Creative process, future creative process.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait. I can't wait till I just need to think about the song and it just it just plays on Alexa.
Don't say that, Rod. Don't say that. It's gonna be too soon already, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. I think 10, 12 years. Maybe not like full singular, but like Amazon. Well, do you guys have Amazon over there?
Yeah.
They just bought 100,000 driverless cars.
Wow, scary.
Just over here. I'm sure they bought the equal amount over there. So.
Oh man.
I think it's coming sooner than we think. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts, though.
I was just gonna jump in with like a crazy concept, dude. Right? So okay, let's take for granted that in I don't know 5 years I'll be just chopping the carrots, right?
Okay.
A song idea will pop in my head, and it will just play on Alexa, fully done because it can just generate it. But check this out, bro. How long until you and I can both be thinking about a song, and it can merge what's in our minds in real time? Dude,
okay.
it would just be like a new way of being extra creative.
Well, Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, he built a little AI program to take his unfinished song ideas and then match them together based on like song tempo and key.
Oh no way, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Crazy, man. It's right around the corner.
It will be like anything. It's like, coders tend to, there are people who are great at writing code, and then they need the creative people around them to kind of put them in the right direction. It'll probably end up a little bit like that.
There will be.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like John was about to jump in.
Yeah, sorry. We've just spent the whole episode just not shitting on you, John. I mean, we haven't even given you the opportunity to say something so we can shit on you. So let's just open up the floor, and you can represent bass players everywhere.
Okay.
Go for it, bro. It's open.
What?
That wasn't a great intro.
It's just like a teacher saying, write an essay, and you go, or what? Anything.
Okay. Should we give you something?
Yes.
Should we give you something?
Don't be
well, wait. I want to know. Wait, he was about to passionately chime in with something.
It wasn't that passionate. I was because you said it's about 10 years till driverless cars. I don't reckon it's going to be. I reckon it's been about 60 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. No, I do. I hope so.
Yeah, I just don't think. I just can't. I just can't see driverless cars anytime soon.
I hope so. So Google, they keep sending their driverless cars around like California and shit, and they'll do really well for a while, and they'll be like, yeah, see everybody, we told you our driverless cars are doing great, and then they'll get in some like fucking terrible accident, and they'll be like, never mind, let's recall all of those, forget that. So yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see that happening.
It's a lot easier to blame a human than it's to blame like a program. Because I mean, even if
exactly.
I mean, it's ridiculous how many people die on the road every year. And
I know.
Even if that was cut in half by driverless cars, the accountability to software and programming, it's
much higher rate.
It's just gonna be a huge legal pain in the ass, isn't it? Really? I
agree.
Also, like, you can sue people who have money, right? So, for example, if a rich person knocks you down, you can claim damages. But if a poor person does it, I mean, you can sue them, but
what are you going to get? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you were knocked down by Google, I mean,
right.
This is.
Well, see, I think the big issue is going to become rights for technology rights. Like, you can't just. Like, for example, in our first music video, there was it was legal to text and drive here, perfectly legal. This was back in 2018. So we went around smashing iPhones out of people's hands with a baseball bat if they were texting and driving, and filmed it. But like, for a good reason now, and now it's illegal. You can't text and drive, thankfully. But like, a few decades from now, I think that will be illegal. Like, you can't just destroy a piece of technology,
Well, especially if it is, if that technology is the body of a sentient AI. I mean, that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
God, we're going so deep. Do you know what?
But are we going that deep though? Is it just not a decade or two ahead?
Yeah.
Hear
but
me
think
out.
about-
Hear me out. Oh, go ahead.
No. You go, bro.
A decade ago, I didn't even have an iPhone, bro. I still had a flip phone.
Oh man.
Now, granted, most of my friends had iPhones and stuff like that. But like a decade ago, I didn't have an iPhone. Instagram didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know,
TikTok.
I mean, a decade, a lot changes.
Yeah. Man, it's
Still no
crazy.
flying cars and hoverboards.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame, really. They really
Yeah.
Back to the Future. They really sold us up the river.
I know, and that we could fuel our cars on garbage.
Yeah, that would have been great with Mr. Fusion. I missed that.
They got to do something now.
I tell you what, right? Let's check out.
As well.
Yeah, the 3D Jaws films with shit effects. I didn't think that was that great. Like the idea that I'd walk outside a cinema and a giant 3D shark would try to eat me. I was like, I could do without that. I could definitely do without that.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Listen, let's check out our track of the week, and then we can have a little chat about that, and then we'll play the interview, and we'll say goodbye, and we'll end the show with the interview. So. I don't know if you've heard this song before. This is Day at a Time by Pushing Veronica. Let's do this.
Love this one.
Here we go.
Don't forget to take your medicine. Maybe the whole world ain't turning so cold. Could be the drugs or we're just getting old. But I can't stop thinking. I'm taking a day at a time. I swear I'm not losing my mind. Good time, we give it a try. Nothing is fine, if everything's fine. I'll take it a day at a time. Life traces by like a bullet train. You ask yourself how much is there to gain. Fall slow to the great unknown. At rock bottom, you're just skin and bone. I can't stop thinking. I'll take it a day at a time. I swear I'm not losing my mind. Good time, we give it a try. Nothing is fine if everything's fine. I'll take it a day at a time. Life is a movie. Just give another try. Don't shut yourself down. Go live. I'll take it a day at a time. I swear I'm not losing my mind. I'll take it a day at a time. I swear I'm not losing my mind. Good time, we give it a try. Nothing is fine if everything's fine. I'll take it a day at a time.
Back. Cool, guys. That was... Oh, everyone can see what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm doing a speed test because the stream is going a bit... Let's see. Let's see what it comes up at, although neither of you guys can see this. But, it's saying I've got... it's saying I've got 25 megabits. 30. What will it settle at? Oh, but this is download speed, yeah. So it's saying I've got 38, 39 megabits per second. This is very, very entertaining and compelling live streaming. Oh, but the upload speed is rubbish. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is a shame.
Here we are now. Entertain us.
Oh, actually, no, it's picked up a little bit. 12.
Hey.
12. Let's see what's happening. But it just feels like we're lagging behind a little bit on the stream. Oh no. Oh well. Let me. I've just closed a window I should have had open, so it's just got like this big box. Let me see if I can fix this with. Oh, I've got. I've just got our Instagram kicking around. There we go. So.
What up?
What up, Instagram? Well, listen, like we've been on quite a while, so I think we should wrap up, play the interview, and finish our drinks and call that a night. But what did you think of Day at a Time?
Yeah, cool.
Got any more on that, John?
They sound pretty cool. So I've only been made aware of it today. Actually, I was just listening to it at work. Oh, it sounds really cool.
I see that over there.
John's just chuckling away. But yeah, listen, let's wrap it up. I mean, I'm going through these beers like nobody's business.
I killed the only drink I had, so I'm moving on to water here.
Pumped. Good. I mean, we
Yes.
don't want to say drink too much. We don't want to say don't drink at all.
Yeah.
We just want to say have a great time. Everyone have a great time.
I think
That's what we.
I think the term
Be
is
yourself.
Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a good message to lead out.
I think so.
I just realised because the stream is on a bit of a lag, and I've just looked back there, and I'm like, oh, I just broadcast all of our DMs like out onto the live stream. That will look great.
Oh, sweet.
Hopefully, I haven't said anything massively incriminating, or
Oh, Rod, you devil, you.
I don't think so. I'll tell you a really funny story, actually, just the last one. But our local football team, Nottingham Forest. No, not Nottingham Forest. Sorry, our other local football team, Notts County. They had like a very, very outspoken and flamboyant owner, and he got in a lot of trouble because he did a screen grab of like some message someone sent him or whatever.
Oh,
right?
no.
Just to kind of like say, oh, look what this person says, whatever. And what he didn't notice is the screen grab also caught like the bottom of his camera roll, and there's just him in the bath like tugging his dick.
Oh no!
Unreal.
No. Okay, I don't know what made me think of this, but before we sign off, I gotta hear each of you do your best American accent.
John, you go first.
No, come on, you go first. Come on.
Okay, what part of America?
See, whatever you feel the most comfortable with.
Oh man,
honestly,
I don't know. Right, let me have a think. Have you got a phrase we can say? Because then, like,
no, it's got to be a British friend of mine, Liam. Shout out to Liam. He's in one of the suburbs of London. He had me do this, where we had to do each other's accents. I'm trying to. I feel like he did California and New York, which I felt like everybody would think of the country accent when they think of America. I feel like they would do a country accent, but I don't know. I want to hear what you got. I want to hear what you guys got, man. Let's go.
Oh man, okay, right. So I'll just do some sort of generic American accent.
Yeah. Go
but
for it,
have you got a phrase like that we should say in an American accent so that then it's like it's a fair comparison.
How about this? Bill, let's go get a cheeseburger.
Okay, right. That's a good one. That's
an American, a cliche American phrase, right?
Okay, right. Okay, I'll give it a go. Bill, let's go get a cheeseburger.
Rob, that was good.
Thank you,
that was
John.
Good.
John, let's see. Can we crank it up a notch?
I'll try a really shitty Boston accent.
Okay.
Bill, can I get a fucking cup of coffee?
Yeah. New England, the Northeast, man. Nice.
Right. Okay. So you've got to do. You've had some practice at this because you've already been put up to this. No. We've got to give you a phrase to say in English accent.
All right.
I think that phrase will be Excuse me, madam. Can I offer you my umbrella?
Is that a British phrase?
Yeah,
let me preface this.
It might be.
This.
Okay.
Americans can only do like a very bad Cockney type. Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to borrow my umbrella?
That's actually really good. That's
That's
really good.
No, it was not.
Mate,
no,
that was
hey,
great.
Listen. No, the American accents, keep it up. This is good.
Thank you, man.
Well,
good. I've been told for years that I sing in American accent, so maybe that gave me the edge.
Yeah, maybe, or neutral. I guess I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
I feel like the only time you hear a British accent in singing is if it's like
Oasis.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Block Party or something really indie.
Yeah.
What was that band? The 1975.
Yeah.
You hear his accent.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right, listen, dude, it's been awesome speaking with you.
Guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh man, anytime. And we'll book some flights. We'll come out, play some shows.
That sounds great.
You'll come over. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We'll have you on our show. We'll do all the things. Guys, thank you again. Awesome, bro. Well, right, this has been See You Next Tuesday, and we're gonna close out with our interview with the awesome Julian from Pushing Veronica. So
Julian,
let's do this. Thanks a lot, Mako. It's been awesome speaking to you. We'll catch you soon.
Thank you, guys.
And this is the interview.
Hey guys, it's Rod and Drew from Just a Ride, and it's another See You Next Tuesday interview. This week we have Julian from Pushing Veronica. How's it going?
It's going great. It's really good.
Warm. We're just having this massive heat wave in the UK at the moment. So.
Oh man.
Sorry, talk about it being very hard. Just been watching the Woodstock '99 documentary on Netflix.
I just watched that 2 nights ago, and I was hooked. Like I binged the entire thing. And
dude, I did exactly the same thing. I started watching it at like 11 p.m. and I stayed up until like
Do you remember
1, 2 in the morning. Yeah, I do. I remember like.
I don't remember it being that bad.
No, I don't remember it being that bad, but I do remember people going like, Biscuit and the Chili's kind of incited some weird shit to happen, but I didn't realize it was like that. That was mad.
Yeah.
I wish I was there for it, but then I watched it and I was like,
I could give it like.
I don't do well in the heat.
So, Julian, just give us a little bit of a rundown who you are, how you've got where you are, and what's going on in your world.
Well, my name is Julian. I'm in a band called Pushing Veronica, and where I got to where I am today, playing a lot of freaking music and just having a good time. And I started when I was 5 years old. Pushing Veronica goes on. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life. There's no plan B because music is life for me, and I'm sure for you guys as well.
Obviously, your sound is very much kind of punk inspired. How would you describe Pushing Veronica in a sentence for an alien that's just landed?
For an alien that's just landed.
That's exactly how I would describe the band. An alien that's just landed. It's amazing.
I would describe it as almost pure physical energy in a way and in a sense of, emotional, but we got a lot of movement. It's just extremely fun.
It's very original.
Thank you.
Yeah. When I was listening to it, I was like, I thought it was going to go one way, and it just goes somewhere else, and you're like, okay, and it was.
Yeah, it's unexpected,
really
a little
interesting,
little all over the place, but
that's great.
That can be.
I mean, you've been pretty busy in the last year or so in terms of gigging, right? You've been
absolutely
on the road.
So this year we had 2 tours, or is it 3? 3 tours. We've been playing with Gemini Syndrome. They've taken us out about 3 times now. And our first tour was with a band called Like a Storm from New Zealand. And I mean, every time going out, it's a different experience. Yeah. It's so fun. Everything about it is just, it's great.
So how did you get the name Pushing Veronica?
So this is a very boring story. Me and the guys had been throwing names back and forth, constantly trying to find something that just nobody could agree on that. at one point, Brady, our old drummer, his dad, he's like, why don't you name it something cool like Pushing Veronica? And we were all just like, oh, fuck, that's perfect. And so that's just how it came to be.
What bands have been like your main influences? As
a musician, it's very hard. That's a very hard question because there's so many people that influence me. So my big influences are, number one, Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl. Everything that he stands for has kind of shaped me into the person I am today. He's this very positive guy, and he looks at the world in positivity. But he's gone through trauma, and but he seems like a very strong person, and he bring joy to others, and that's what's important. But I have other names, big into Queens of the Stone Age, System of a Down, Green Day, Offspring, a lot of bands in the punk scene as well, like Rancid, Social D, Misfits, Black Flag, NoFX, those kinds of things. And then there's other rock bands. Caius was big. Metallica. Yeah. With my father, had me grow up with Metallica.
You're basically listing all the bands we listened to when we were teenagers. So have you always been like the main songwriter in Pushing Veronica?
In Pushing Veronica, we all collabed equally. It was never really a process of who wrote what song. It's all, like I said, it's been equal. We all come together with our parts and we just create from there.
You mentioned Dave Grohl, you mentioned about positivity. And one of the things that really strikes me about Dave Grohl is, like you said, he's been through some really traumatic stuff, but he never comes across as a victim. He is always, pillar of strength for, his band, the people around him. And even if you go back to, I don't remember it, but I'm talking about from what I know about when Kurt died, he was strong for the fans as well. And
Absolutely.
I think you can see him doing this as well in light of, the tragedy that of Taylor passing. Do you have kind of overarching themes in the music you're writing, or do you just like to drip in and out of things?
Honestly, I drip in and out. I don't typically stick to a theme. Everything that I write comes from right here, what I'm feeling in that moment. And I just like to express it. I'm known as a very honest person, almost to the point where it could be a flaw, but better to be honest than make up stories and then have the consequences later. With the writing process and the music we write, and I've noticed this myself, it's either extremely funny music that is just crazy, like our song Chad, bullshit, cancel cult, all of that kind of stuff. And then we also have a more serious side to our music, where you have Data Time, which just came out, Stranger, Everything for You, all those. Most of the newer songs are actually more serious, but there's still humor within those as well.
I really hear a sense of playfulness and a real sort of sense of rebellion. It feels really strange at the moment in that I think a lot of that kind of punk energy that was kind of, going against the system in the 90s has now kind of become like the mainstream or the orthodoxy. And I think it's really interesting. And I feel like we're kind of kindred spirits in that sort of way, because I feel like what we're trying to do in our music is push out this positivity. Do you know what I mean? Right. There are very serious things happening all throughout the world. And do you know what? There are loads of bands who want to talk specifically about those things. But I think what we try to do, and I feel what you try to do, is just have a bit of fun, have a bit of positivity, sometimes be a bit tongue-in-cheek, kind of poke the bear a little bit, but don't be too obvious about it. Leave it for people to make up their own mind about things.
Exactly.
And I think it's really cool to see someone from a younger generation, because we're old fuckers, having that same energy. And when I was a kid, if you had green hair, you were a freak. I got expelled from school for having green hair. Now we should let people with green hair work in investment banks. It's like, the fuck? Do you know, when Kurt went out, and played in a dress, that was a real kind of statement. You need to do things, for me, punk and that kind of energy, it needs to be a bit more dangerous, it needs to be a bit more on the edge, and it should be pissing people off in some ways, you know.
Absolutely.
It feels like it loses its power when everyone's like, yeah, it's cool.
But that's provoking. That's just what it's supposed to do. Provoke emotion, isn't it? And that's the idea of it, isn't it? You know, music and stuff like that. It's all yin and yang. You know, every genre has a punk attitude towards, fuck that, we're going to do this kind of, and that's what replaces each kind of genre. I think after a while, everyone gets sort of bored of something, and then they just go, oh fuck it, we're gonna go and do this, and that's the answer to that, and then it just evolves that way. So I think every movement is a punk movement in a way, isn't it? You know,
for sure, 100%.
I mean, grunge. We always say it, like grunge is just like, when we talk about grunge in the 90s, that wiped out the 80s. It was just punk. It was punk. It was just the answer to like, oh, we're sick of all these hair bands.
Exactly.
Like, you know, what we gonna do?
It was the new punk of that era.
Yeah, everyone goes, oh, the punk was 70s. And I'm like, there's punk is everywhere. I think all music should have a punk attitude. Like one of my favourite bands is like The Police, but they're all like jazzers, but it's just, they've got this amazing type of like punk energy. I think all bands should have that through their system. Like it just
I agree.
No matter what, you know, it's the foundation of it. Like a punk attitude, I think is more important than just saying, oh, we're punk music. Yeah.
Punk music and punk attitude are two halves into what it is, honestly.
And you know, like, you know, it's constantly evolving. Like to me, punk is non-conformity. Do you know?
Exactly.
So one of the areas that you kind of get across a lot of the humorous side, even in kind of your more serious songs, I think is in your videos. You've got some really, really cool videos. You've worked with some amazing directors. What do you feel about video as a medium to get across your music?
So I feel that videos and media are extremely important, because with music, it might be a little bit hard to paint a picture for some people of what exactly is happening. So when you make a video or photo shoots that kind of illustrate what the song really is about, it brings new light to, you know, the meaning, and it's a guideline, and it's extremely entertaining as well, and super fun to do. So that's why we make videos.
What has been like your favorite part of shooting any of your videos so far?
The favorite part of shooting a video is actually, it's going over the story of it off camera, and then, you know, kind of getting like the ideas going and just rolling with it. You're with your directors, and, you know, you just spit back and forth what exactly, you know, you're gonna make, and then stepping onto the set. So you got the idea, and then you're going to see the illustration after you look at the camera, after you filmed it.
Do you ever find when you're writing, you know, you're actually then visualizing what you could do in a video when you're, you know, even when you're putting together songs?
All the time. I'm a visual learner. So when I write my music, it's always about the story of what would be in a video. I
was thinking about, you know, Day at a Time, your new single. It's a serious song, and you can feel a lot of emotion in there. How people deal with adversity, you know, that sort of thing, and all the stuff that's going around them. Like, you know, what was it that was behind the track?
When I wrote this song, I was kind of having a hard time in my life. With the band specifically, there was a lot going on. I had a grandmother that passed away. There's just other stresses that have been at play. And so I kind of had voices in my head telling me, you know, everything's going to be all right. You just got to take it a day at a time. Everything will get better. And that kind of been, that saying was repeating in my head when I realized that, you know, how big of a deal, you know, saying that to myself was. I was thinking it would be great to, you know, write it all out, put it in a song. I know other people could be going through the same thing. When it made me feel better, I hope it makes other people feel better.
It sounds like you kind of use songwriting to kind of work through stuff you're going through in your personal life.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, that's the great thing about being an artist. You know, something terrible can happen and you go, you know what? I might get a hit out of this.
Yeah, it's sad. I think it's usually the way. It's all, like being a bit sort of like mellow and stuff tends to kind of, you end up writing some good songs that way.
Musicians, comedians, you know, they're kind of linked together with that kind of, you know.
100%. Yeah.
You put a lot of like unexpected twists into your music, which kind of always keeps a listener guessing. And, you know, I probably, when I was rambling on about the track. You know, it felt like a ballad to start off with, and it felt like, oh, this is going to be like some really stripped back lo-fi. And then I just love the way it just picks up in the chorus. The synth line that you've got in there is really cool. It just, and again, it just takes your, you know, your music to a different place, you know, and it just feels like your tracks are constantly sort of evolving.
When we wrote this, our producer's name was Drew Polovic. He's in a band, Friday Pilots Club. And this guy, I feel, is going to be a big pioneer in, you know, this new wave of music that's going to be coming through these times. I see him as a genius. He helped a lot with the production of this song and how it sounds. It turned out great.
So what is the goal for Pushing Veronica?
The goal for Pushing Veronica is to be writing and releasing as much music as possible, while also, you know, we've been on a bit of a hiatus from playing, and I just want to get back out in front of people as soon as possible. That's the first step, I feel. I miss being on stage. I miss it a lot, and you know, that's what fuels me.
Well, listen, it's been really, really cool kind of getting to chat and to hang out. I guess we'll just kind of wrap it up. Keep smashing it, you know. Yeah. Keep writing, you know, keep putting out music, because I think you're onto something really special.
Thank you so much. Same with you guys as well. Your music is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Right.
Cool.
Thank
awesome,
you guys.
bro.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure.